Hi there, it's Kim Baker from horseandaroundstamping.com, and today I have a fun slider card for you. Yep, I made two of these so far, and the only difference really is the embellishments that I used and the colors and the sentiment. My goodness, couldn't think of it. And this one uses some new and upcoming embellishments that are called Sunny Day Iridescent Dots. And then this one here uses the Glossy Dots assortment. So those are the main differences in these two cards. And then, of course, the camper van I colored a little different. But just to show you, it's a Slimline card. It measures 4 by 8.5, and it slides open. How much fun is that? He's driving to the woods to go to his camping spot. He, she, they. Anyhow, that's what we're making today. All right. So let's get started. I switched a couple of the things on you, just a couple of the DSPs, but we're starting with an 8.5 by 8.5 piece of, this time I'm using Lemon Lolly, and we scored it at 1/2 inch and 4.5 inches. Okay, and then we are using, I'm using the Flying DSP. Let me see what that's called. Take to the Sky DSP, and that's one with the airplanes. The airplanes. But anyhow, I loved the clouds for that, for the background for the camper van. So that's why we're using that today for a little changing up. And then all we're going to do, we are going to start, I like to have my 1/2 inch fold on the front, and I've already put tear and tape on the bottom for you, so that we're ready to stick that when we get it done. But we're just going to adhere this piece of Take to the Sky paper. And this is, I think I told you, maybe not, 3 3/4 by 8 1/4. We're just going to adhere this to the front above this score line and above the tape, because now we want to bring in our trimmer. And we want to come in 1.5 inches. So we're going to line this up with our 1.5 inch line. And then we're going to come down to 1 inch with our scoring blade. So we want, our cutting blade. So we want to lift our guide up and bring this down to 1 inch. And then we can shut it. And we're going to cut down to 7.5 inches, because that will leave 1 inch on each side of our cut. Okay, so we have 1 inches from the cut to the edge. 1.5 inches from the cut line to the edge, and 1 inch from the cut line to this edge, and 1 inch from the edge to this cut line. I hope that makes sense. Okay, and that's all we need our trimmer for. So now I want to add, this is different than these other two because I used the shiny paper. I didn't add a road. But because we have all sky on this one, I'm adding a 1/2 inch by 8 1/4 inch piece, and it's going to be my road for my camper van. And I'm just putting it at the very bottom of this DSP. Okay, and now I'm gonna take a piece of 3/4 by 3 basic white, and I'm going to stick it through this slit in this cardstock, and we're going to, I had to find my dimensionals. We're going to add some dimensionals to the bottom of this, and all I want to do, I'm going to add them so that the even lines stay up with the side edges and the pointed part is on the bottom. That way I can stick these really close together. Okay, and then all I'm doing is tucking this up to the line. Okay, and we're going to flip this over because now we have a piece of 3 3/4 by 8 basic white, and ta-da, it's already stamped and colored and embossed for us. So we know that we want this to come out this direction, so I want to adhere this to this piece of the strip. Okay, I'm just making sure that my dimensionals are all lined up straight, and I'm just going to add some snail to this. Again, I'm going face down. My design needs to go upright, and I'm just going to go right inside of this lolly cardstock. Okay, so now we know when we pull this out, it's going to slide. Okay, so before I close this, I want to take my 1 3/4 inch punch that I put somewhere that I can't find, right in front of me. And I'm just going to cut a little notch out of the center of this, and I'm lining it up between here and here and trying to get an equal distance. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, there we go. And I accidentally cut through my white piece, so that's okay because I'm going to put a tab on it and it'll cover it up, so I'm not too worried about that. Whew, good thing my tab's bigger, huh? Oh, the fun of being on a video and making mistakes in front of everyone, right? We're all human. Okay, So now I can go ahead and close this. So I'm just going to take the backing off my tear and tape. Close the back of my card. Now this will slide in and out. Fun, right? And not hard. Not hard. You can do this. Trust me. And I failed to mention that the bundle that we're using today is a new bundle in the spring catalog. It's called Adventure Together. It's a Stampin' Die bundle. And I'm a camper. I love to go camping with my horses. So I nabbed this one up right away because of this. So there's that. And now we have our little camper already cut, colored, stamped, all the above. And all we have to do is place it right on those stickies. So we're going to take the covering off of the stickies, dimensionals. And then I'm just going to place my van where I want it and stick it there. Okay. And now what I found I like to do is take another dimensional and I want to stick it behind. I'm leaving the cover on one side and taking the sticky side and sticking it to the back. With that cover on, it doesn't stick and it gives more dimension to the top of the van. Otherwise, the top of the van likes to be up against the paper, which isn't a problem, but I like it better this way. And we have 2 trees that I've stamped and die cut. We're going to glue the first one on, and I just put my multi-purpose glue in a fine tip bottle. We're going to glue this one onto the edge of this. Obviously this tree doesn't want to be on the road. So we gotta give it above there. Okay. And then my little one, I'm just going to put some dimensionals on it. Put it right next to the big tree. And that way when my van comes up, it kind of looks like it's going past the trees. Fun, right? Okay. And we want to get our, this is from the Keeping Tabs Punch. And it's $23. I use these all the time for the slider cards or the pull, you know, the pull tabs. So we're just going to put some glue. I like to just put glue on one side of these. And then I stick them together. So they've got glue on both sides. And then I put them where I want them. And for this particular one, I just line these edges up against the edge of my paper where I'm putting it. I do want to scoot this up just a tad. Okay. And now it shows that it needs to pull. Fun, huh? Okay. And then we have our Happy Camper sentiment. And I just stuck this onto this piece. Added some dimensionals. And normally I don't have dimensionals with the backing on. I put tape on the back of my dimensionals. But for this one, I needed to leave the backing on for this card because of before I put the van on there. So I left the backing on this pack. And then I'm just going to finish it off with some glossy dots. Let's see. I think I'm just going to use the clear ones again. I guess they're not clear. They're pool party. Right? And there you have it. A fun slimline slider card. I'm curious to know, though, which is your favorite? Do you like the shiny gold paper, or do you like the clouds with the road? I don't know. I like them both. I don't think I have a favorite with this set. But anyhow, please leave me a comment below and let me know what your favorite is. I'm curious as to what the general consensus is. That's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like and subscribe this video. I appreciate it. Have a great one. Bye.